Hello there, little friends. Gather around and get cozy because I have a delightful story to share with you today. Have you ever wondered what it's like to live as a mischievous little cat? Imagine the adventures and the fun. Well, let me tell you the exciting tale of Whiskers the cat's mischievous adventure. This story is filled with fun, laughter, and a valuable lesson. Whiskers was a fluffy, playful cat who lived with kind Mrs. Maple in a cozy little cottage. They shared a special bond, filled with love and warmth. Whiskers loved causing trouble. He'd knock over flower pots, swipe shiny objects, and create little messes that kept Mrs. Maple on her toes. And oh, how he loved to chase butterflies inside the house. His playful antics brought joy and sometimes a bit of chaos. But do you know his favorite trick? The one that always made him giggle with glee? Spilling Mrs. Maple's milk whenever she left it on the table. It was his little game, and he found it endlessly amusing. One sunny morning, Mrs. Maple poured herself a glass of milk and went to the garden to fetch some herbs. The sun was shining and the birds were singing. Whiskers saw his chance and leapt onto the table. His eyes sparkled with mischief as he approached the glass. "This will be fun," he thought as he poured at the glass. Crash! The glass tipped over and milk spilled everywhere. But oh no! The milk spread across the table, creating a slippery mess. Whiskers hadn't anticipated what would happen next. As Whiskers jumped down, his paw landed in the puddle and he slipped. He tumbled across the table, landing with a loud plop on the floor. His pride was hurt more than anything else. Bella, the old dog, walked in and chuckled. She had seen Whiskers' antics many times before. "Well, Whiskers, what did you learn this time?" she asked with a knowing smile. Whiskers sat up and licked his wet fur, feeling embarrassed. He didn't want to admit that his tricks weren't as clever as he thought. He pondered for a moment, realizing that his playful pranks sometimes led to unexpected consequences. When Mrs. Maple returned, she saw the mess and sighed. But instead of scolding Whiskers, she cleaned up the spill and placed a fresh glass of milk on the table. She knew that Whiskers was just being playful and she hoped he would learn from his little mishap. "This time," she said gently, "I trust you'll make the right choice, Whiskers." Whiskers watched the milk, tempted to knock it over again. The urge to play his favorite trick was strong, but he remembered how slippery the spill was and how kind Mrs. Maple had been. He thought about the mess and the trouble it caused. With a little sigh, Whiskers walked away from the table and curled up on the couch instead. Mrs. Maple smiled, proud of her little cat. From that day on, Whiskers thought twice before causing trouble. He realized that his actions had consequences, and he wanted to be a good cat. He learned that being mischievous wasn't as much fun when it caused others more work. He found new ways to play that didn't involve making a mess. So remember, little friends, think about the consequences of your actions and how they affect others, and always choose kindness. The end. Thanks for joining me on Whiskers Adventure. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more fun stories. Goodbye for now. Until next time, keep being kind and curious.